In a deadly kind of silence that is all across the land, to the haven of Big Cypress I have come to make a stand. Are you listening? Can you hear me? For I am nearly out of breath. Hear my scream break the silence for my race. Life or death. Oh, Prince in the sun.
The first song we're going to do is not a yodeling song, but it is an original. Mr. Gale wrote it in honor of our mother and had us all work it up and do it as a surprise for her on Mother's Day. And now she's going to sing it along with us. It's called Chicken in the Pot.
My mom and my dad would give all that they had to
We never had much money, but we had the stars above. We had the finer things, we had the love. Yes, we had the finer things, we had the Now we're going to yodel, and if you've ever heard us at White Springs before, you've heard us do this one. It's called He Taught Me to Yodel. As soon as we kind of get that guitar. There we go. I went across to Switzerland where all the yodelers be to try to learn to yodel and go yodeling lowly. I met up with a Swiss boy, he was handsome as could be. I'll teach you all to yodel just like you taught it to me. He taught me yodel, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee. This is how to yodel, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee. Ole, yolo, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee. Ole, yolo, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee.
Well, this lad up in the mountains was a tall and handsome Smith. He taught me how to yodel and he taught me how to kiss. He taught me how to cuddle in that good old mountain way. We did our loving on a mountain, yodeling all the way. He taught me to yodel, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee. This is how to yodel, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee. Ole, yolo, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee, ole, yolo, yodel-o-dee, Take a deep breath and an exhale 1, 2, 3, and you will hear yodel if you listen close to me. This is how to yodel, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee. This is how to yodel, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee. Ole, yolo, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee. Ole, yolo, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee. Yodel-o-dee,
from South Florida. I'm gonna move you up back in the middle of the state. And I want y'all to help me on this song. This is a song dedicated to all the native people from Orlando. Who here's from Orlando? Oh yeah, you got your ears on? Here we go. The tourists jet to Orlando for their great big family vacation. Some folks live there year round, but they got reservations of their own. Kinda hard to call a mousetrap home. Since that rapid Orlando, the dirty little rapid Orlando. Now Florida's got a lot of swampland. In the 60s, swampland was hard to sell. Disney made them boys an anonymous offer. They were happier than hell. They moved away. Rest of folk had to stay. Hey, up to that rapid in Orlando. Dirty little rapid in Orlando. You know the one. M-I-C. See you real soon. K-E-Y. Why? Because we like your money. M-O-U-S-A. Yeah. Now, not all that Florida Kissimmee land was swamp. There was some good pine, good scrub. Little pieces of land owned by people that didn't have no big financial plans. Just had a dream in hand. Little mom and pop orange groves. People living off the fruits of their labor. And that's hard land to acquire because that land comes with a dream running right smack dab through the middle of it. So what's Disney gonna do? My aunt and uncle, they never had nothing but a fireball red stock car and a little piece south of Orlando for when they retired, got old and gray. Orange County annexed it away, and they gave it to that in Orlando. Made a big old sewer plant in Orlando. M-I-C. See you with me. See you real soon. K-E-Y-Y. Because we like your money. M-O-U-S-A. And you know, it's really a shame that Disney took that land from my aunt and uncle because they ended up in my family home in Island Rada and the Florida Keys in Lower Matacumby. Y'all probably got a relative just like my Uncle Bob. He came 3 weeks, he stayed 3 years. Uncle Bob drank all the beers. Well, my heart's in my hand, Orlando. I know how tough it can be. When your hometown disappears right from under your feet, you got my sympathy. I'm a third-generation native from Miami. You cannot believe the things that I have seen. Of course, my town started out as a Mickey Mouse town. And I hear they're gonna build a bullet train from Miami to where you are. Well, at least I won't have to drive my relatives up in my car. I'm sick of tourist spots. I've never really liked them a lot, especially since that got Orlando. Dirty little rapid in Orlando. Here we go. M-I-C. See you real soon. K-E-Y. Because we like daddy's money and mommy's money too. M-I-C. See you real soon, kids. K-E-Y. Bring one to them. Dead presidents. M-O-U-S-A. You dirty little rat, you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, this is a story about your environment. And you make a difference.
We're through. Sweet bottom we dance around the lake. And the glove never touches us the same place twice.
turn the other cheek until we run out of face. We learn to forgive, we learn to forget, not at the same pace, 'cause it's hard to heal when the wound is fresh and you're trying not to bleed. But the hole will close and the pain will stop, just as surely as you breathe, as we grow stronger in the broken places, man. We grow stronger in the broken places, man. We grow stronger in the broken places. Hope we don't get hurt again, don't get hurt again.
Thank you so much. Oh, bless your hearts. That's from my last solo CD, which is called Floating on the Surface. Well, it's been a wonderful weekend. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. As always, I have enjoyed myself immensely, and I just consider myself the luckiest man on the planet to get to actually travel around the country and perform for people and do what I really would do absolutely free and get paid for it. So I want to thank you folks for letting me come out and sing for you tonight, and wrap up my little short set here with a tune called Boundless.
There are these walls, these barricades we place around us to keep us in, are made to keep our feelings out. But today I had this breakthrough I don't think I can explain. It's a piece of understanding, thing racing through my brain and left me boundless. I have this feeling I am boundless. I cannot be contained, I will not be restrained. I've opened up my eyes and I have come to realize that I am boundless. Oftentimes, flows against us like a river. Though we try, we can never swim upstream. So I struggle with the current, fighting what I can't resist, instead of floating on the surface like some great illusionist. When I am boundless, I have this feeling I am boundless. I can't be contained, I will not be restrained. I've opened up my eyes and I have come to realize that I am boundless. What is this power heaven leaves within my mind? I'm not sure from day to day what I will find. My burdens have been lifted and my freedom is restored. I believe I found a magic open door, and I am boundless. I have this feeling I am boundless. I cannot be contained, I will not be restrained. I've opened up my eyes and I have come to realize that I am boundless. I have this feeling I am boundless. I cannot be contained, I will not be restrained. I've opened up my eyes and I have come to realize that I am boundless. Oh, I am boundless. I am boundless. I am boundless. I am boundless.
Boomslang.
You know, during this past fiscal year, I took all the money that I earned playing swamp music, and I invested it in a project known as the Cross Florida Mall. That's a continuous mall that is to stretch from the lovely urban village of Kendall down in the southernmost portion of County Dade, all the way up through South Florida, then around Lake Okeechobee, then on up to the magnificent garden city of Winter Park in County Orange, so that South Florida as well as Central Florida shoppers can shop for miles without ever stopping. I made so much money on that investment, a factor of 10 to the 6th power, that I took that $100 and invested it in a Everglades regional recreational facility that served hearty meals to swampers for reasonable prices. And I think I found such a facility at the Flamingo Roadkill Cafe.
No one comes here no more, there's too much of it around. You can't hear the music, they play it too loud. And it's gotten so late, we might as well stay at Flamingo Roadkill Cafe. It's drinks on the house and charge them to my buddy. Here's mud in your eye, 'cause you sure look muddy. The less food you eat, the longer you stay. Flamingo Roadkill Cafe. Hey, hey, Flamingo Roadkill Cafe. The special today is smoked wildebeest. Each Thursday night they put out quite a feast. What's an armadillo look like when he's in a buffet? At Flamingo Roadkill Cafe. It's drinks on the house and charge them to my buddy. Here's mud in your eye, but you sure look muddy. The less food you eat, the longer you stay. Flamingo Roadkill Cafe. Hey, hey, Flamingo Roadkill Cafe. Well, we just played a set of our 10 greatest hits. They don't pay us in cash, but Flamingo drink chits. We can drink them tonight or on any weekday at Flamingo Roadkill Cafe. You guys know the chorus well enough to do a sing-along? We're on TV, so I don't want you to screw it up. So let's practice first. I'll say the words and you say them back to me, so I'll make sure you got them. So it's drinks on the house. And charge them to my buddy. His mud in your eye. Cause you sure look muddy. The less food you eat, the later, the longer you stay. Let's do it up. Flamingo Roadkill Cafe. Hey, hey. Flamingo Roadkill Cafe. The next time the chorus comes around, you'll be ready. The owner hates drunks and she can't stand drinkers. She dates swamp singers and other deep thinkers. She plays hard to get just to keep me away at Flamingo Roadkill Cafe. Now there isn't any chorus after this verse, so you have to wait till the next one. And by the way, I'd like row 32, and that's the row right before the sound engineers, to please refrain. I heard the number you did on the sing-along last night, all right? I ordered small bag of chips. Ordered fried veggies with exotic dips. Then I asked for a chicken that they broiled by the fires. But the possum they brought me still tasted like tires. All right, all of you are going to be rehearsing in small groups. Here's the chorus. Streets on the house and Jordan to my buddy. His mud in your eye, but you sure look muddy. The less food you eat, the longer you stay. Flamingo, Roadkill Cafe. Hey, hey, Flamingo, Roadkill Cafe.
Thank you. You sounded very good, except of course for row 32, who could not refrain. You know, a dozen years ago, back in 1985, when South Florida became the 51st state of the Union, part of the deal that we worked with the legislature was, although we got our own congressional delegation, we did not get our own governor. We had to share a governor with North Florida. Fair enough. As a consequence, the chief of the Seminole tribe, actually the chairman of the Seminole Corporation, Jim Billie, became like the shadow governor of South Florida. And South Florida is indeed fortunate to have Jim Billie as the leader of the Seminole Nation, because he's not only a great conservator of the Seminole language and history, but he's also a fine, fine South Florida composer, as you all know. But when I first became a swamp singer, the people came to me and said, "Hey, you can't be a real swamp singer. You have a song with Chief Jim Billie in it."
My middle name is Yard Sale, can't afford to pass one by. One day a hat said by me, I said caught my eye, though it was cheap at half the price. Sitting on my head it sat. Think I might have paid too much for Jim Billie's hat. Think I might have paid too much for Jimmy Billie's hat. I bought this American flag, which had 48 stars, and some old Burma shave sign. About a trip, 2 bars, a rubber tip for a walker. Got a good deal on that. Think I might have paid too much for Jim Billie's hat. Think I might have paid too much for Jimmy Billie's hat. Bought a red tennis ball with a pebble loose inside, and a Jerry Bale album that I still haven't tried. Gas tax refund vouchers, got a good deal on that, but I think I might have paid too much for Jim Billie. I bought Gordon Liddy's flashlight that he used at Watergate, and a terrible swift sword from a Civil War estate. Got the Loch Ness Monster's autograph, got a real good deal on that. Think I might have paid too much for Jim Billie's hat. Think I might have paid too much for Jimmy Billie's hat. Photographs of John the Baptist, but not the John you think. And a shrine for your lawn, made from half a sink. Amelia Earhart's flight plan, got a real good deal on that. Think I might have paid too much for Jim Billie's hat. Think I might have paid too much for Jimmy Billie's hat. Come to think of it, I paid way too much for Jimmy Billie's hat.
I just heard a couple of chairs being smashed backstage, so I think that means the Peters Road Swamp Blues Band is in the building. I'm going to go off stage and change. Wait a minute, we're all family here. I think I'll change right here.
Joining the bullfrog from the swamp. I think they're coming out. His band, the Peters Road Swamp Blues Band. You know what swamper music is? This is what they do, swamper music. It's a crossover between roadhouse blues and environmental country music. It celebrates the lives, loves, and lifestyles of swampers living and working in and near the wetlands and sloughs of the South Florida Everglades. Let's see, the Peters Road Swamp Band features Bear Wilson on lead guitar, Boomslang on banjo, which we know, Mark on the washboard, Gator on mandolin, War Dog on the acoustic guitar, and Sunhee on lead guitar. How about a warm welcome?
Later, such as encounters with close friends who have recently died, or sightings of friends who have been dead for more than several years. As soon as we get set up, Bear Wilson from Citrus County is going to tell us such a story.
And I said, we'll all meet at the Florida crossroads, where the night it is browner than brown. I said, it's 4 miles east of that old 41, where on the old maps there once was a town. And it's a way out on a L-shaped road, where the orange groves, they smell just like limes. And it takes me back to when I was a kid, but I've been there a couple of times. And I said, we sat outside that 2-story stone, and I leaned against that old wooden table. And I said, even back there, it felt just like a dream. But I'd go back again if I were able. And I saw Jim and Edwin and Hank and Bo, and it made me forget they was gone. Well, we started away after midnight, but I was gone by the dawn. And I said, we sang a few of the old songs, and we sang some that I never heard. We sing that chorus over and over. Now I don't remember a word. And I saw Jim and Will and Gamble, and it made me forget they was gone. Yeah, we started away after midnight, but I was gone by the dawn.
Well, sure. While Jim Billie gets set up with his band, I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to sing and tell you a story. How about that? Diane is going to interpret, hopefully. This is a fairy tale. Excuse me, that's not politically correct. This is a bedtime story. One that we all know. 'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we are to be. And when we have found a place just right, we will be in the land of love and light. Once upon a time, there was an economically disadvantaged tinker, or a metal household utensil repairman, as he preferred to be called. He and his wife lived in a converted school bus on a lot right next to the estate of the local witch, or the black magic practitioner, as she preferred to be called. The tinker's wife was expecting a child, and she craved some of the lettuce that grew in the witch's meticulously kept garden. So she begged and pleaded for her husband to climb the fence and gather some for her. He finally submitted and jumped the fence and gathered as much as he could in his arms. But before he could get back, the witch caught up with him and held him by the scruff of his neck. You see, because of her upbringing and socialization, she was somewhat harmless and impaired. "Where are you going with my lettuce?" asked the witch. Now at this point, the tinker could have argued with her over the concept of ownership. He chose, however, in a degrading spectacle, to plead for mercy. It's my wife's fault. She's expecting a child, and she forced me to climb this fence and get the lettuce. Please, please spare me. I realize that a single-parent family is acceptable these days, but don't deny my child the benefit of a two-parent family structure. Well, the witch released him and disappeared without a word. And he went home with an armful of lettuce. A few months later, after excruciating pain that a man could never fully appreciate, the tinker's wife gave birth to a beautiful, healthy, free woman. They named her Rapunzel, after a type of lettuce. A short time later, the witch appeared at the door to claim the child. After all, she had spared the tinker that day in the garden. Because of their hopeless station in life, the tinker and his wife were open to exploitation, and they had no choice but to let her take the baby. She quickly sped into the woods and imprisoned Rapunzel in a tall tower that had no doors nor stairs, but it did have a single window at the top. And when the witch wanted to see Rapunzel, she would go to the tower and stand at the bottom of the tower and sing, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, that I might climb your stair. And Rapunzel would allow her beautiful hair to cascade out the window and down the tower, and the witch would climb to the top, and they would spend hours singing folk music. For the witch truly loved folk music, and she taught Rapunzel many, many songs. She loved traditional songs, and she taught her some of those, like, the water is wide, I cannot get over, and neither have I wings to fly. Give me a boat that will carry two, and both shall row, my love and I. She also loved the songs from the 60s and taught her some of those too. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. And she especially loved the songs written by Florida songwriters, but she would take these songs and change them and make them her own. Use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. I won't pay for the things you want to buy. Wear your old faded dress, it has holes, it's a mess. Walk out, my love, if you're not satisfied. I'm a woman, need I say more? I'm a woman, need I say more? Oh, they spent many hours singing, many days singing, because you see, the witch was Rapunzel's only companion, until one day a prince came through the woods, and he hears this voice singing. And he's drawn to the tower, but as he approaches, he sees the witch, and he hides in the trees. And he watches as the witch calls to Rapunzel, and her hair falls down, and she climbs to the top. And they spent the entire afternoon singing folk songs. Well, when it was safe, he went to the tower and called up to Rapunzel. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, that I might climb your stair. And obediently Rapunzel let her hair fall down, and he climbed to the top. Oh, beautiful damsel, I've come to hear you sing. But please, no more folk songs, no more folk music. I want to hear you sing some country music. Do you know I'll Tennessee you in my dreams? Or what about Redneck Girl? How about friends in low places? Walmart parking lot? 18 wheels and a dozen roses. Well, Rapunzel didn't know what to make of this character with the hairy face and the musky body odor, but she was somewhat attracted to him, and she opened her mouth to sing. "Stop," said the witch. "How did you get up here?" asked Rapunzel. "I had a second set of hair made for an emergency, and I can see that this is an emergency." And she looked at the prince and she said, "What are you doing up here?" "I've come to hear Rapunzel sing country music." "Absolutely not. I will not allow it." "I don't think you're going to stay here very long. I'm going to knock you off this tower into the thorn bush below." "I wouldn't do that if I were you," said the prince, "because I have friends in the recording industry. And with your help, we can make millions off of Rapunzel. There'll be record contracts, video deals. We'll even have a look-alike Rapunzel doll. We'll rake in the cash." The witch became interested, but Rapunzel's curiosity turned to revulsion, and she quietly slipped away, thinking about how for years she'd allowed her hair to be exploited for the transportational needs of another, and now her voice was going to be exploited. She climbed down the second set of hair, dislodged it, and rode away on the prince's horse. She went into town, rented a room in a motel with real stairs, and decided to start an organization, a non-profit organization for the free proliferation of folk music. She cut off all her hair for a fundraiser. And she started to sing for free in libraries, museums, coffee houses, Unitarian churches, and the Florida Folk Festival. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome James Billie.
Computers and supersonic speed, and all the newest miracle that man can get achieved. I'll pass on what I've been told of the days of long ago, of the old ways still claimed he's changed the modern way, cause he wears a coat and tie, but he holds his head up high and walks with dignity and pride, cause he knows the old way will survive. With microchip computers and supersonic speeds, and all the newest miracle that man can yet achieve, I'll pass on what I've been told of the days of long ago, so the old ways will survive.
soundstage. Just want to run down.
Guitar? Guitar. 7 years ago, I lived in a country where nobody wanted to live. It was long grass, walk on the pool, made a bullet in the cotton out, all at your feet. Once in a while, some folks passing by would stop at my place to do so. They would all say the spell was Skeeter damn hell. They lived up already, but it was good to live away out here with the birds and these hobbies. I guess Disney World does a very fine job of bringing tourists in, but they sure teach our kids, especially mine. I live out in the swamp where true live animals are, and I guess many of you do. We've got bears, panthers, rattlesnakes, and all this. And I teach my son not to go up and hug on these things. My bears on my reservation will eat you alive. Panthers cut your eyeballs out, even though mice and cuddle. So this is a story about the Everglades, waves of the glades. Nothing happened. Yeah. A white-tailed buck make a run for the trees. He leaps over logs and soppers in. A little ways in, he stops and looks back. He's riding wild, 10-point right. Now you can't be too sure what's walking out there. It may be a coon or a big old bear. Or it may be something that hunts you down. Whatever it is, you don't stick around. No, sir, not here. Now a deer can hear and see real good. And he saw something move by the edge of the woods. So he lifts his head up, sniffs the air. Sure enough, a panther's out there. Now a panther is cunning, he knows he will catch his prey and make his kill. So he's going way down low and taking his time. Fresh meat gonna be just fine. Yeah. leap and he slides through the air. Ball's ready to get some hide. But the deer, he jumps aside, yeah. Now the deer starts to run and the panther tries to catch. The cat seems on that he's outmatched. The deer is lucky and runs away. But the panther, he'll have a stay. Yeah, that's the way it is. Yeah, that's the way they live. That's the way they survive. That's the way things have always been. That's the way some everybody. Yeah, exactly. That's the way they survive. That's the way they will die. That's the ways of the glade. Ways of the everglades. Yeah. Ways of the glade. Ways of the glade. Ways of the glade. You might be wondering tonight, why am I wearing this old army jacket? It's hot. There's a story somewhere, I think it was like Dade's Massacre. I thought it was Dade's Victory, but it was Dade's Massacre. But anyway, the Indians did a fine job of doing a combat tactic over there one day. They surrounded all these white folks. I know it's going to hurt your feelings now. But anyway, I guess one of our own warriors happened to be observing how the battle was going on, and it was this little short, fat guy, kind of like me. He had a sword ablazing, and he was cussing the GD word. Hot dang, get the log over here! Hot dang, get the guys over here! The Indians are coming! Hot dang! He kept doing that, saying that hot dang, but with the GD cuss word. And so when the battle was over, that night there was a little celebration at Wahoo Swamp. They were all sitting there and talking about how great things were, and wearing Indian wearing. They didn't wear no pants back then. They had breechcloth, and he was standing there kind of like this. I thought I'd come out here with just a, this on and a breechcloth, but my legs are too white, so I just had to keep my pants on. But I thought I'd kind of make fun of that a little bit. But I wish I kind of took my jacket off now. It's kind of hot. And then the other thing is that a young fella gave me an honor. I guess he'd seen me hobbling around today and gave me a walking stick. And I forgot to ask him his name, but he gave me a gift. And I gave him my CD, the only thing I could think of right away. But I'm a typical Piscean. I like homemade things. So, ladies, make cookies. Woo.
Check. Channel 13 on the direct.
You're on 13? Good Lord. Sawgrass flower. Out in the open country is where the sawgrass grows. And if it wasn't for that sawgrass, we'd probably still be vacationing with the folks up in Oklahoma. And I've been in that sawgrass many times through my airboats and canoes and dugout canoes and all this stuff. And there's sawgrass growing out there. You'll hit it. It'll cut you. You can pull up this way, but you can't go back down. And then a certain time of the year, it's got this romantic look about it. It's got a tinge of red on it. So one day I was out there, my airboat stopped on a mound. Boom! I was kind of sitting like this with my eyes squinting. That's the way I looked, like flying me through the air another 50 feet into the sawgrass, got cut up and everything. So all you airboaters, you know what I'm talking about. One time I went out in sawgrass country and just had my shorts on. Lord have mercy. Ants. Spiders. You have to scratch it off somehow. You're rubbing your legs together and everything. I generally don't wear underwear, but after that I do wear underwear now. And so this is a song, my love song to the Everglades, Sawgrass Flower. eyes, you're everywhere. The beauty of your domain, the breeze, the sun, and the rain. Sawgrass flower, you're teasing me again. I've known you for some time. What you've done to me is a crime. You took my love, you stole my heart. All I do is think of you. Sawgrass flower, you're beautiful. Something about you irresistible. You make me so miserable. But sawgrass flower, I'm in love with you. I see you once through the Everglades, the redness in your hair. I heard your voice in the wind saying, could we be just friends? Sawgrass flower, you're beautiful. Something about you irresistible. You make me so miserable. Sawgrass flower, I'm in love with you. Most of you people out there are entertainers of some type. I know you've got your guitar. I've got mine laying in the bathroom half the time. First chord I pick up is that A for that sawgrass flower. I can't get away from it. I like A. A.
I go right there and get a beer reading.
Where's yours? B?
I like E.
E. E.
E of the people.
I was at some bluegrass festival several years back. I heard a song. I dearly loved it. Says everything I like. It's about Florida. Could be the Louisianas or any bayou country. And this man by the name of Bill Tripp wrote the song. It's called River Swamp. Hey, yeah! You might have to keep me on now. Oh. Gators and the gators, I don't know. My home's in the river's home. Bullfrog jump along the way. Turtles sun there every day. I've seen the otters and the fire, but they must have gone somewhere. River swamp, crawling power from pockets and home. Gators and the gators, I don't want. My home's in the river's home. anyways, last time I saw what we call clear water was about 1962. And then some type of developments took place, and now the waters are a little dirty. But if you go down far enough down into the swamp, the water actually clears itself. The earth does that. And I'm not one of them advocates for this and that. And if we're polluting the earth, we'll clean it up somehow. Or the earth will itself, so I'll be dead and gone by then probably. But the earth does clear itself in a big cypress swamp and gets out there real clean around the Miccosukee country. Every time we make a little camp in my country, we would make the cookhouse because we want our women to cook some food every day. One time we were doing this and we had finished the Chiquis hut. On one of the poles there's a water spigot. We got city water there, so you know we want to look old-fashioned but have modern things too, with a water spigot beside it. And time went along. We had to cook something to honor that fire. We believe that fire is our brother. If you don't believe it, put a glass over the fire and he'll smother just like you and I can smother. But they have always said that the fire is our brother. So we had to honor the fire. First thing that we thought was a turtle walking by. So we took the shell off. We had a good supper. Time went along and one of the guys hung up that turtle shell by the Chiquis post. And we had thought maybe we could shellac it and put something on it, sell it to some tourists. Get us a six-pack. That was back in the old days. Now we just drink water. But anyway, before we could do anything with that turtle shell, Pilikiti means Carolina wren. The word Pilikiti doesn't actually say that, but that's what that little bird is. In our country, we say that's God's bird, or the Creator's bird. That little bird, you'd be walking through the woods and he'll come over there and sit right there, and you can almost reach him and touch him. And boom, he'll take off. Well, that little bird made his nest in that turtle shell, had 3 little eggs in it, and one of the ugly Seminole Indian boys in our camp saw it first, and he goes, "Hey, all you guys, you can be uncles." I thought, oh my God, what female would even dare go near this guy? They all started laughing a little bit. Then come to realize he wasn't talking about a human type female, he was talking about a bird's, there's little eggs in there. So we looked in there, it's just little eggs. We all started joking around, but then he almost beat us up, so we all become uncles. So we looked at that, and by God, as time went along, we'd wash our hands and see our nephews and all this in there. And they popped out of the little shell. Little ugly little monsters came out of there, looked like little dinosaurs, but as each day went by, little pretty feathers came in and they flew away. We were a bit saddened by that. 1 year went by, no bird, nobody ever come back. This is 3 years now, 3rd year. The bird returned, the man was still there, we were all still out there winding up and drunken up, and we're still in the end, we're still there. Drug abuse program's done and gone, we're still drinking. The bird came back. That same guy saw him. He said, "Hey, old it's go." I said, "Are you back?" "Hey, it's because you answer about hands or side." He said, "Just seeing you makes me feel good." "Hey, it's going just seeing you makes my day bright." Hey, look, let's go out. I said, "Ooh, man, you can smell that stuff coming out of his nostrils and mouth and everything." He said, "I hope you're always around. Just seeing you makes me feel good." So I happen to have a guitar there. We put this tune together and it came out like this. It's called "Because of You." You don't so happy just to know you. And I'm so glad you know that you'll be there. Seeing you around make me feel alright. Just seeing you around make my day so bright. I want you always around. It's because of you I'm happy to say. It's because of you I smile all day. It's you. It's because of you. You don't have to know me. You don't have to look my way. You are really something special, and my love for you is growing day by day. Just seeing you around make me feel alright. Just seeing you around make my day so bright. I want you always around. It's because of you I'm happy to say. I smile all day, it's you, it's because of We were trying a song last night. I just wrote it recently, and it's about you guys or women. You get your boyfriend with somebody. We Seminoles, especially us men, we're really macho, man. My girlfriend starts looking at somebody else. What are you looking at that man? My wife does that. I will go, please don't do that. But the first thing happens when you catch somebody is you go, oh no. Rain falls out of your head. And you go, no, 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 it cannot happen. So the word is matina. No, no, matina, matina. So we put it together. I think it was about Cole and he and his girlfriend were fighting, so we put the song together. I think it was him anyway. But it goes, matina. Can you say it? Matina. Yeah, so when you hear it, join in, because that's a real difficult word. Matina. Blah, blah, blah. You can say it. Okay, here we go. Up. Martina, 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 Martina. You hurt my feelings. land. You made my heart so sad. You said that I was the only one, but you gave yourself to someone else. Martina, 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 Marta Pechina. True love is hard to find. I thought that you were mine, but now that I know the truth, all I say is Martina, 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 Marta Pechina. You've been gone a long time, but memory will linger on. I'm still so much in love with you, but my heart says Martina, 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 Marta Pechina. Martina, 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 Marta Pechina, Marta Pechina, Marta Pechina, Marta Pechina, Martina.
Boy, you're real Seminole Indians now. You can talk. I like to sing one of my favorite songs of the swamplands where my great-grandfathers ran down to. And I finally figured out not too long ago, they went all the way down, and why did they go so far down? The further the person went kind of indicates what his honor was. They were running away from the war and they're really scared. So they were way down there where the military couldn't get them. But when we got there, we found deserters, outlaws, all hiding in those swamps. So we all became friends. Aaron Collier, and I don't know who else. If he hears that, he's probably going to go, my God. He tried to put me in jail once, I heard, through a panther case of some type. I'd get him somewhere. Him and Bob Graham, I'd catch him. Where's that stick? But anyway, out there, you'll find all kind of life. That's where the only place in this country that I know we have wild crocodiles. Halpati bifashki. They say the halpati part. It says ibifashki, pointed nose. You'll find the halpatis, the manatees, the ospreys, the eagles, all kind of wildlife. Even little fiddler crabs out there. So this place out here, about last part of the 1800s, a person came in there by the name of Smallwood. He put up a little trading post there, Smallwood Trading Post. And he started stalking Seminole pretty good. And every time he saw one of these dugout canoes coming across Chokoloskee Bay, he would say, Ilatsatsko, which means, are you here? You have arrived. So if you hear that in the song, that's what it means. And now, years later, I have one of these tugboats about 50 feet long. And I'll fly in there with my helicopter and think about my grandpa. How he took 5 days to get somewhere and I get there in 20 minutes. Isn't that great? I love this modern world. I don't really care too much about the old ways. So we put the song together and here's what it sounds like. High Tide at Chokoloskee. A pelican flies above the waves. An osprey dives and gets himself a big one. Manatee slides on by with her baby
Lusky. Mango sprouts on a oyster farm. Blessed by the sun, the wind, the moon and stars. The cycle of life starts over again. It's lovely how it all began. And it's a land where the man that's trying to change the world. 10,000 islands, mystery brings it back again. But he'll be gone someday, washed away by the high tide at Yugoslav. I don't know how many folks are here, but probably what's here now is just all the entertainers. I'm not sure who's. But anyway, you heard this story before. Don Grooms has been my brother for a long time. And he was writing things, and so I told him, can you teach me how to write some songs? I said, well, you don't have to worry about rhymes and all this. Just write it down. So I came up with a song. He said, it's not rhyming. But I thought you told me it's not supposed to. Well, I didn't mean it that way. One day, Don came down to visit me, and down in Hollywood, and I had just getting to be big time now. You live in Chiquis and some house on a reservation. Now I bought a house on the Intercoastal, man, right by a power plant. When I was a little kid, about 3 years old, walking by that power plant, it had windows, and I used to be scared to death of it. Why I bought a house by that power plant, I don't know, but I was there. So Don would come down. One day, he and I bought a case of wine, cheapest thing we could find that would buy for less than $100. Stayed drunk for about 2-3 days, wrote about 10 songs. One of them was called Try and Try Again. And we kept on trying, chugged that one at a time. No, that's not like it. But anyway, so we wrote one called Try and Try Again, and I'd like to share it with you. Never give up. Rolled up and the king pulled in his hand. You know he's mad, but he's not sad, cause it was a day when they did. A day will come when he catches that one that somehow got away. He knows you never quit, you try and try again. And the world moves on as it turns, it never stops anyone. You've got to learn how to crawl before you walk, then you run. Remember all those little things that you learn while you're young. The little boy grows to be a man, the challenges at hand. The going gets tough, life is rough, and he doesn't understand. As a boy was never quite this way. Reality he faces now so cold and very true. And the world moves on on, it's what seems to change. And there's the one to lend a hand when he's down in the drain. Isn't it strange how these things work out in the end? And all he's got to do is have faith and believe in himself again. And the world moves on as it turns and never stops for anyone. You've got to learn how to crawl before you walk, then you run. Remember all those little things that you love when you're young. After Don had left, and as I was having a rough time trying to put some lyrics together, and I had written this song about 2-3 days or 4 days or so, and I couldn't figure out this one little. Didn't know what my grandpa said. He jumped in the water by the gator's head, and I went boom. I finished the song, but there was one part that was missing there. And Don came up with the key words. He goes, "Hull Putty Chubby didn't even pause. My dog disappeared in the gator's jaws." That's his journalistic brain doing that. But that was my key signature, so here's a song called Big Alligator. Big alligator, he's mysterious. Big alligator, he's amphibious. Big alligator, he's dangerous. But with a big alligator, you can be prosperous, yeah. Was that supposed to start the work? Yeah, I'll get there. Here we go. Give me another keyword. Let's do it. I was raised in the swamp by my old grandpa, who ate turtle meat. A fish called guard. Grandpa told me about panthers and bears, but most of all, he told me to beware about Hull Putty Chubby Nakshunichki God. Hull Putty Chubby Okin Peyiwa. Hull Putty Chubby in Okaji Jiwa. Hull Putty Chubby Himaja Jiwa. As days of the summer grew longer and hot, Grandpa took me on my first gator hunt. We pushed through sawgrass and willow spruce, and a big yellow dog in the dugout. The dog started sniffing something in the air. Grandpa said, "Must be gators over there. Better grab your knife and some rope, and remember what I told you when you were the boy." Hull Putty Chubby Okin Peyiwa. Hull Putty Chubby in Okaji Jiwa. Hull Putty Chubby Himaja Jiwa. At the age of 12, I was sure of myself. I could hit alligators by myself. But my dog didn't know what my grandpa said.
He jumped in the water by the gator's head. Oh, but he truly didn't even pause. A dog disappeared in the gator's jaw. I can still hear my grandpa say, oh, but the Joby knocks your next gun. Oh, but the Joby open gate. Oh, but the Joby in the garden. Oh, but the Joby in the garden. Oh, but the Joby knocks your next gun. But the Joby open gate. Oh, but the Joby in the garden. Oh, but the Joby in the garden. I remember that day how that big bull gator swallowed my dog. Scars and pain haunts my life, but I've learned to live and I've learned to survive. Oh, but the Joby knocks your next digger. Oh, but the Joby open gate. Oh, but the Joby in no God's itchy. Oh, but the Joby oh, but the Joby knocks your next digger. Oh, but the Joby open gate. Oh, but the Joby in the garden. Oh, but the Joby, oh, but the Joby, oh, but the Joby, oh, but the Joby, oh. Yeah. All right, we're going to get off. I hope you've enjoyed it. And we're going to sing that song called Back to the Swamp. Everything in these words are true. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a cappella. You give me the day chord, all right? Take me back to the swamp. Well, I go to the swamp every chance I get. I ain't never found nothing better than that. Doggone lazy or getting away. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel good. Take me back to the swamp. Let me go. Back to the swamp. Oh, nobody goes. Take me back to the swamp. Let me leave my soul. Back to the swamp. And here I go. Where a tree frog cries to bring in the rain. Where yellow rat snakes drive birds insane. A girl mosquito is the one that mine. Well, ain't that funny? Women all like alike. Take me back to the swamp. Let me go. Back to the swamp where nobody goes. Take me back to the swamp and free my soul. Back to the swamp and here I go. Where a wildcat chases a cottontail down. Otter got a frog and he goofs around. The diamondback runs from the indigo snake where a black Florida bear never hibernate. Take me back to the swamp. Let me go. Back to the swamp where nobody goes. Take me back to the swamp and free my soul. Back to the swamp and here I go. Back there on the piano. Bonefish on the guitar over there. Holding on the harp and guitar. Gilbo on bass. And yours truly. And he walks like an ape. He walks around in the Everglades. Well, I don't know and I just can't say. I think it's on Eugenia Fitchen and let me get back to the swamp where nobody goes. Take me back to the swamp.
free my soul. Back to the swamp, here I go. Take me back to the swamp, let me go. Back to the swamp, oh, nobody goes. Take me back to the swamp, let me free my soul. Back to the swamp, here I go. Take me back to the swamp, let me go. Back to the swamp, oh, nobody goes. Take me back to the swamp, let me free my soul. Back to the swamp, here I go. You're great. Thank you. Back to you, Eugenia. Thank you.